Lucy is here live. It's Wednesday, and she's getting us ready for the Mardi Gras season too.
She certainly is. We always can tell when we got a king cake box here in the studio.
Yes, today, well, of course, all of our stores sell king cakes, but I thought we could make a king cake bread pudding today.
How fun is that?
A lot of people have been eating king cake. You know, they've been out in the stores since January, so you may have already had your fill of king cake or wanted to do something different.
Sure.
And this is also a good recipe if you get through Fat Tuesday and you have some leftover king cake. This would be a great way to use it up. So I'm just going to start with 6 eggs in here.
While you do that, tell us about what types of king cakes you offer at Greer's.
Okay, so all of our stores, we have 29 stores, and all of them do not have bakeries inside.
Okay.
And so we buy our king cakes from a bakery, Cartoza's, in Louisiana.
Yep.
And they provide us with king cakes, and we have traditional, we have cream cheese, we have a praline one that's really good, strawberry cream cheese. That one is strawberry cream cheese, and you could use this with do the same recipe with whatever kind you'd like, but I thought that with that strawberry it'd be good to add some freshness with some blueberries and some blackberries today.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Whatever king cake you like. So to the 6 eggs, I just added a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and now I'm gonna add 4 cups of milk. And also I put a 1/4 cup of sugar in here. So eggs, a little bit of sugar, some milk and vanilla, and that is all we need for our wet ingredients. And then I'm going to just tear this king cake up into pieces and pop that in here too.
All right, sounds like a game plan. I know we've been talking a lot specifically about the downtown store, not to not mention all the other stores that you have across the entire Gulf Coast, but it has to be really exciting for the first time with the new store having Mardi Gras in full swing now.
It does,
Yeah.
and that store is actually baking king cakes down there because they have the facility to do it, so we're making little ones and medium ones and big ones down there, along with all of our other fresh baked goods. And yeah, I went, we had a baby shower for my friend down at the new Greer's on St. Louis Street rooftop on Sunday. And so I pull up and there's a band outside, there are people everywhere, and it has just been such a fun gathering place for people before parades, after parades. We don't close until 10 o'clock Monday through Saturday and 9 o'clock on Sunday, so we're open for you to visit after the parade, get a bite to eat. So it's been a lot of fun being down there.
A fun festive experience, no doubt. We're going to continue to work on this king cake bread pudding, the perfect recipe for the Mardi Gras season. We'll see you in just a bit, Lucy.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Studio 10. Our friend Lucy is live in the kitchen this morning with Greer's Markets, making something perfect for this carnival season. What you making?
We're making king cake bread pudding today. I know it smells so good already. We haven't even baked anything. I just thought it might be good, you know, if you're wanting something different to do with your king cakes, or I mentioned earlier, if you're stuck with some king cakes after Mardi Gras and you want a way to use them up, this would be a great way to use it because it won't matter if the king cake is, you know, a little stale or not at its freshest point. So in this big bowl, I started with a big bowl, and I did 6 eggs, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 4 cups of milk, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And I just whisked that together. And then I just used a large king cake, and I have a strawberry cream cheese one, but you can use whatever flavor you like. And I just tore that into pieces. And once you start mixing it together into this liquid, you know, it's gonna kind of mush together. So really any size piece is fine.
And it smells so good. Joe has been stealing, and Mick too, our photographer. I saw them steal a piece out of this bowl before you mixed it in with the raw eggs.
He did.
Smart on their part for sure.
So now I just, I love white chocolate chips and bread pudding. I just think it adds a really good creaminess. And so I did 1 cup of those. That was just half the bag. And I wanted to add some fruit into this bread pudding, just to give a little bit of just acidity and not everything sweet. So I have a pint of blueberries and a little container of blackberries.
And we have to remember too, you're using the strawberry cream cheese king cake.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a berry bread pudding too.
Yes, I thought that might work really well together. So I'm just gonna mix this together, and I have a 9 by 13 pan here. So whatever, you know, whichever size you have that it'll fit in. And we are going to bake this at 325. So, traditionally you bake, at 350 or so, but we're going to bake at a lower temp. So 325, and this is going to take about an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
So it's kind of a long baking time, but it's going to take a bit for, that whole center to set. So you can see what it'll look like in the baking dish. And so we have those eggs in there. So, it's kind of custardy. So we want to bake it slow. So the whole thing has an opportunity to cook through and not just the top get too burned. So it's going to fill up, and it's going to puff up a little bit, but it's at that low temp, it's not going to overflow. So if it goes up to the top, don't worry about it.
Now, do these white chocolate chips melt?
Yeah, they melt, and I don't know, like I said, something about the white chocolate, and I love to do it in bread pudding, and it just makes it just kind of creamy, and that mild sweet flavor just works really well. And so 325, and you don't have to cover it for an hour and 40 minutes, and you can just poke in the middle to make sure it's cooked through, and then it's kind of set. And then we're gonna make a rum sauce too, the easiest sauce ever. So that's gonna go on top.
And we've got the rum,
so
that's
the
important.
rum.
That's very important to have for the rum sauce. All right, well, you can get your king cakes at any Greer's markets that they still have them out, and we're gonna talk more about Greer's and finish up this recipe next with Lucy and Joe. Joe.
Back in the Studio 10 kitchen with Lucy and Rumpelstiltskin over here. We got some rum on the table.
We do. It's time to make our rum sauce for our bread pudding. Most people love rum sauce with bread pudding. And today we're making our king cake bread pudding.
Exciting.
So we have it all done, and it's in our baking dish ready to go. So we just started with eggs, milk, sugar, a little bit of vanilla extract. We added in a king cake, and then we also added some blueberries and blackberries and some white chocolate chips. So this is ready to go into the oven, 325 for an hour and 40 minutes or so, and just kind of low and slow for that. And then this is the easiest bread pudding sauce. You take 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, put it in our saucepan, and then you certainly don't have to, I've made this tons of times with no alcohol in it, but I just take, this since it is Mardi Gras, I thought a rum sauce would be good for this. And then we're just going to do half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and if you did not want to use rum, I'm using a dark rum today, you could put a little bit of rum extract in there, or you could just omit it all together, and instead of doing half a teaspoon of vanilla, you could just do a full teaspoon, and then if you needed to thin it out a little bit, you could just add a little bit of milk in there. So it's still gonna be a really great sauce.
So I'm just confused to make sure here. So you're not adding heat to it, so it won't burn the rum off, so it will still have the alcohol content?
I am going to add the heat.
Oh, you are
I'm sorry. I should have said that.
But so maybe a little bit will linger, maybe it will all burn off.
Yeah, so it'll just have the flavor of it, just like if you're cooking with wine or something like that.
Gotcha.
So I'm just going to turn it over, I'm sorry, I should have said that, over just medium heat, and just let it get hot, and it's just going to have that flavor, just like cooking with any other time you cook with alcohol.
But if our camera guy Mick there takes a drink straight from the bottle, that will have alcohol in it.
Will.
Just to clarify.
That will. And then I may not be asked back to the station.
What a perfect sauce. What a perfect Mardi Gras dish this is, y'all. King cake bread pudding. A lot of people say they eat king cake either as a snack or for breakfast or any time of day, but you can absolutely make this into a legit breakfast recipe when you make this bread pudding, or a sweet savory dessert. So many great options.
I know. I think this would be great for a brunch. A lot of people are going to be getting together now through Fat Tuesday and just having a good time. So this would be a great addition. And you can bake it ahead. So you could, get it to this point, pop it in the fridge, and bake it off before you go. Make the sauce ahead, just warm it up. So it's definitely something you could do ahead of time. So we're just going to let this get hot, and it'll be ready to pour over our baked bread pudding.
Fantastic. And for all of your Mardi Gras needs, you can always stop by any of the Greer's locations, correct?
Yes, correct. We have one right on the parade route, Government and Broad. We have one, further south on Broad, and then our new one on St. Louis Street.
Lots of fun times. We are letting the good times roll at Greer's for sure. King cake bread pudding. What a recipe. Lucy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Football.
We hope you guys have a good Wednesday. Remember Lucy's yummy, yummy bread pudding recipe.
Mama didn't raise you to play no foosball.